Hi everyone, how are you? I know it's been a really long time. Um, yeah, it's been a long time. I'm not even sure where to begin. Goodness. Uh, I hope everybody's well. I'm sitting here having my coffee. It is what is today? It's Friday morning. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee, and I thought I would come on and say hello to everybody. Um, so where have I been? Well, kind of like everywhere and nowhere. Um, oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. I pretty much stopped going on like most of social media. I did I did get into TikTok for quite a while, for like almost this entire year. Um, and I was on that for a long time this year. And then suddenly the other day when I was on there, I don't know, it was like, I noticed that I was spending a lot of time on there. And so I prayed to the Lord and I asked him to remove things from me that were taking me away from him. Um, I had asked God to, remove people and things that are coming in between me and him. And I guess it was just the other day I went on TikTok and, I don't know how the algorithm works. I really don't. Because you have a page for you have a thing that you can click for people that you're following and you'll see all the people you're following, and then there's a thing that you could click that says for you. It's what they call a for you page, and you'll see people that you don't know on that one, but you also see people that you do follow on there. So it's like, even though you're following them, you see their videos, but some of them you don't see because they throw them on the for you page. So the other day I was flipping through the for you page and I just came across some stuff that like jumped out at me immediately, and it was like the Holy Spirit said to me, "This is bad for your soul. Get off." And I agreed and I got off. So I'm no longer doing TikToks. Um, Besides the fact that it is a China owned app and there's a lot of security concerns with it, I'm done with it. So I was doing that a lot. And what else? In February of this year, the end of February, matter of fact, the last day of February, we lost Linda. Linda passed away. For those of you who have been around a while, you know Linda was my best friend. Um, Linda had lung cancer. She did make it to her 80th birthday in January. And then, things have been really rough for the prior, I'm going to say, 6 months. And I was really surprised that she even made it to Christmas of 2021. And then I was surprised that she made it to her birthday, but she did. And then finally, we brought hospice in. When I say we, me and Bill, her husband, we set that all up, and we brought hospice in. And excuse me, I need a tissue. I have a really runny nose this morning. Um, we brought hospice in. I think it was towards the end of January, and on the 20, I think it was the 28th. Was this year a leap year? It was the 28th or the 29th. About 11 o'clock at night, she left us. Um, it was on a Monday, and I went and I sat with her that Monday afternoon, and she was in bed, and she was kind of there, but she wasn't. She was, what I like to say is she was transitioning. She was definitely transitioning. But I did get to speak to her, and, God gave me the same gift that He gave me with my mother. That the last thing that I said to Linda was, and it's the same thing that I said to my mother. The last thing I said to the both of them was, "I love you." And they both answered me and said, I love you too. And that was the last words we spoke together. Um, so I just sat with her. I sat at her bedside and I held her hand and I was rubbing her head and just telling her that I loved her and that she was going to be okay. And she opened her eyes and she looked at me and she shook her head yes. And, I just spent some time with her and then I came home. And that night was just, it's grueling when someone's passing from cancer because it's, when you start getting down to those last days and hours, it's like this morbid death watch. And that's basically what it was. So I went to bed, and when I had woken up, Bill had texted me during the night and said that Linda had passed. Now here's the strange thing. That night that she passed, it was about 8 o'clock, and I was just starting to pray my rosary. And for some strange reason that night, it was very, very quiet in my house. That's very unusual. When you've got 5 dogs, that is really unusual. But that night, it was like pin drop quiet. And I just started to pray a rosary, and I heard this sound. I still can't explain it. It was like this musical, like, tone. But it was nothing that I'd ever heard before and nothing that I've ever heard again. And I listened and I listened and I thought, maybe it's the cars out on the road, which is about 3 blocks from here. Sometimes you can hear them. But it was it was so otherworldly that I was like, no, that's not it. And I listened, and it was like, ooh, ooh. It was like this melody, and then it stopped. And that was around like 8 o'clock. And then the next day when I had talked to Bill, I said to him, what time did Linda pass away? And he said to me, well, I'm not sure. He said, I went in the bedroom about 11 o'clock to check on her. He said, and she was gone. I said, okay. And then he said to me, she was stiff. I couldn't move her jaw. So that tells me that when he went in, he found her at 11 o'clock. Rigor mortis had already set in, which means she probably died around 8 o'clock. Because it takes about 3 hours for rigor mortis to really set in, like, strongly. So I'm thinking that noise that I heard was Linda saying goodbye. And I know people say things like that after a loved one passed, but I'm telling you, this sound that I heard, and it wasn't a sound, it wasn't a song, it was just like a melody kind of, I don't know how to explain it. But I think it was her saying goodbye. So, as you can imagine, the next few weeks were difficult. Bill kind of went into clean out mode. And we went through all her jewelry and all things like that. And, he was very kind. He gave me quite a few pieces of jewelry from Linda. He gave me one of her rings, and I have her earrings, and her chain, her gold chain, and I took some of her clothes, and her Dallas Cowboys jersey that I have, which she loved, with her name on the back. So that's been difficult. That's been kind of rough. I miss her every day. When someone has cancer that you love, you start to mourn them way before they're gone. And so, with her, I would say the last 8 months were really rough, because I knew we were losing her. She wasn't going to win. We were losing her. So I started mourning her long before she left us. But when somebody does finally leave you, it's a different type of mourning. It's more of a mourning for you because you miss them. So I do miss her. The other thing that Bill gave me was Linda had this beautiful, Linda's favorite animal was the hummingbird. And she had this beautiful, almost like, it's not a wind chime, but it's set up like a wind chime. And on the ends of the chains are all these glass blown hummingbirds. And it kind of like spirals down. So he let me have that, and that's hanging in my kitchen. And so yeah, so for the first few months, I really like kept on top of Bill, like having him here all the time, making sure he was okay. Um, just really just being around him like all the time. But then I realized that, about 6 months into this, he's going to have to try and he's going to have to navigate how to live without her. He's going to have to learn how to navigate having a life by himself and getting himself out there and meeting new friends and things like that. And me constantly being there is kind of like holding him back from doing that. So I do still see him. Of course I do. I mean, he still comes up for coffee. We still have dinner together. We still go out to the stores together. It's not like I've just, cut him off. I just kind of backed off a little bit because he needs to find what his new normal is going to be. So there was that. Trying to think what else is going on. My husband is doing okay. He's having some severe back issues again, unfortunately, and leg issues. He is basically can't use his legs too much anymore to really go anywhere. He's going in for an MRI on the 23rd. We're afraid that something might be going on in the back again. The stimulator that he had implanted does not seem to be doing much anymore. I mean, it's helping, but it's not helping like it was. His pain medication isn't really doing a whole lot either, so we're just waiting to see. He did, however, get approved for an electric wheelchair through the insurance, so we got that. We haven't been able to use it yet because we have to get a hitch and a carrier on the back of the car. So that's, it's a lot of money. So we're waiting to do that. The other thing that I have to do is I have to get a ramp put out in the front of the house. So you're talking a lot of money. So there's that. Yeah, and the other thing is I'm working. Yes, I've gone back to work. Am I healthy? No, not by any means. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an update on that. As most of you know, if you've been around my channel for any length of time, I have a swallowing disorder where I cannot swallow solid food. My digestive system is a disaster from my chronic illness. As a matter of fact, I went in July of this year, or June, and I had an endoscope done to check for esophageal cancer and stomach cancer, and thank God everything was fine. I do have, my normal stuff. I have severe GERD, hiatal hernia, and the other thing is I have what's called functional heartburn, which if you see me moving, this is why. Depending on how I sit, it will kick off the heartburn, and that can get pretty severe. So the swallowing has not gotten better. As a matter of fact, it got worse. So now I do not get any solid food at all, with the exception of some scrambled eggs in the morning with a white roux sauce that I make. It's just milk and butter and cornstarch, but nothing else. I am now living on a complete liquid diet. It is a formula. It is an organic formula put out by a company called Kate Farms. Basically, it is a container. You know what? I think I might have it in here. I'll show it to you. Yeah, I do. It is it's a liquid formula, and this is what it looks like. This here is basically a meal in a container. Everything that's in here is the vitamins, nutrients, proteins, all the stuff that you would get if you sat down and ate a meal is in each of these containers. So I'm having a hard time with my insurance paying for it. They're being a pain in the ass. Sometimes they pay for it, then they decide they don't. Then I got to fight with them again and spend hours on the phone. So that's been very, very stressful because my supply of this is like over $500 a month. So yeah, so there's that. It has helped me gain a few pounds, which is good. I don't think it's not putting a ton of weight on me, but it's helping me sustain for now. And I'm praying that it stays that way. Because if anything should get worse, then the next step is going to be a feeding tube, and I really don't want to do that. But if I have to, I have to. But hopefully not. So getting back to what I was saying, yes, I'm working. I have taken on a part-time job. I had no choice. Um, you know, I did a lot of praying about it. With the way our economy is going, nobody can afford anything extra. They just can't. And for us, our extras are medical needs. We need the ramp. We need the hitch. We need the transporter for the wheelchair. Um, I'm still dealing with all of this. I need this done. And with the way the economy is, there is no extra if you live on a fixed income. There is no extra left. You're getting your basics, your shelter, your food, your electric, your phone. Yes, phones have become a necessity in this day and age. And that's really it. So I sat down and I started going on Indeed.com and I was looking at all these jobs and I actually went and I filled out applications and then I realized that physically I am not going to be able to do a job out of the house. Physically I am not going to be able to handle it. So I prayed a lot and I said, God, you know what I need. I need a job that I can do from home, that I can make extra money. And I'm lost. I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do. Well, I guess it was a few weeks later. I happened to just stumble across something on Indeed.com. Didn't know if it was going to be a scam or not. Um, Contacted the person who had put the ad up, spoke to them, started going through all this stuff, did background checks, the whole 9 yards. Then I went through training. Training was in October and it lasted the month of October. And even going through the training, I was still concerned that maybe it might not be on the up and up, but I figured, okay, I'm going to do this and just see what happens. They didn't ask me for any money or anything like that. So I just kept with it. I just kept with it. Training was absolutely brutal. It was 4 hours a day, every single day for the entire month. And my body's not used to doing that. And it was virtual training. It was in like a classroom with an instructor. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm doing customer service from home. And it turned out that it is 100% legitimate. Um, and I graduated training at the end of October and signed my contract with the company. And so now I'm working. I work 3 hours a night every night. I have one day off a week. And yeah, it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money at all, but it's more than we have. It's a few couple hundred extra a month. Um, and that's what we need. We have debts that we need to pay off. Alvin, my little dog, had to go in for ACL surgery in September. That's $2,000, which I'm paying off. So I said to my husband, I said, well, I don't know what else to do. I have to get a job. I don't know how I'm going to get a job, but I've got to get a job. We've got to bring some more income, and there's no way he can do it. So now I'm working, so I don't have a lot of time. I have my mornings where I have things that I need to do for everybody else, the dogs, Lou, whatever, myself. We need doctor appointments, if we have doctor appointments, things like that. And then in the afternoon, I have to lay down for a little bit. Excuse me. Because if I don't lay down in the afternoon, I am totally shot. I'm sick. My pain is worse. So I lay down in the afternoon for a few hours, and then I get up and I cook dinner and I feed the dogs and clean up from all that. And then before I know it, it's 7 o'clock. It's time to go to work, and I work till 10 o'clock, and I get off and I do a few things that I have to get done, and then I go to bed. So yeah, So I've been working, and I got to be honest with you. After 28 years of, well, let's see, I've been disabled with illness now over 30 years. But after 28 years of not working, it actually, though it is tiring and though it is grueling on my body, and it feels really good to work again. It really does. It feels good to make a paycheck again and to contribute more to our home, to us. It feels good. It just feels really good. And not to mention the fact that I like what I'm doing. I like the company that I'm working for. It's not all peaches and cream. Any customer service job, you're always going to have bull crap that you're going to have to deal with. But it's not a big deal. So I'm very pleased. And as I said, when I got my first paycheck, I was so happy. I think my first paycheck was minus $17 because there is a fee that I do have to pay each month to the platform that gets me the job of like $60. So my first paycheck was minus $17. But my second paycheck, I was so happy when I got my second paycheck. I took a picture of it and I texted my family, and everybody was really happy for me. And so yeah, my first paycheck in 28 years. So it's a decent job. Like I said, everything's done online through the computer, and yeah, you know, it's 3 hours a night, which, like I said, is grueling. But it's fun to work again. It is. It is. Sometimes when the cases are really tough, I can't wait to get off. But that's with any job. So yeah, that's really where I'm at. I did have an iPhone for a while, which was the other reason I didn't make any videos. I have, my computers are all PCs, and iPhone and PC just doesn't go together. And I was not going to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a program to edit videos. Not only that, for my own personal reasons, I just recently got rid of my iPhone and went back to Android. So, hello. So, I'm going to try and start making some more videos on YouTube. Yeah, and I guess that's really it for right now. That's all the updates. That's where I've been. I'm gonna try and make at least one video a week, maybe two. We'll see. And you know, I'll share some things with you and share some of my personal life with you. And being off YouTube, uh, it's made me realize a lot that I can say this. If you've stuck around to this point in the video, I appreciate it. I know it's a long one. Some people like long videos. Other people don't have any attention span anymore because of social media. But anyway, from going forward on this channel, whoever leaves any kind of a nasty comment, they're getting blocked. End of story. I'm not answering. I'm not getting involved. I don't want the stress. I just don't need it. So if a nasty comment is left, I'm just blocking people so they can never comment again. They will be blocked completely from my channel. So there's that. But like I said, I'm going to try and make more videos. I really want to make videos about my faith. It's something that I like to talk about with others. I like to share with others. And I like that others share with me in the comments about what they think. So yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. So I hope everybody's well. And thanks for watching. If you stuck through my whole video, thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up so it gets in the algorithm. That helps me. I'm not monetized, as you can see, but it helps get my videos out there. If you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. And that's about it for now. I've got somebody that I have an appointment with at about 9 o'clock, and then I gotta go to work tonight, so I've got things I need to get done. And so I'll end this video here, and I will wish you all a good day, and may God bless you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.